Hi, my name's Violet, and I've been a member of the Gluten-Free Baking Club for Kids for a year. I have had so much fun doing it. My favorite thing about it is that we've gotten to do so many different experiences. I've gotten to bond with people in my area over being gluten-free. It's helped me become more confident in baking, and it's helped me have more fun. I love the Gluten-Free Baking Club for Kids, and the Gluten-Free Baking Club for Kids, it's helped me so much. If you're joining, or if you're thinking of joining, you get to meet people, you get to make some really good food, and you just get to, learn new recipes, and you get to realize gluten-free baking can be really easy. Thank you so much, Miss Paula, for just making this.
Hi, my name is Abby and I've been a part of the Gluten-Free Baking Club for a year and a half now. My favorite part of the club are all the challenges. For example, last Christmas, we did a gingerbread house challenge where we had to create our own gingerbread house designs. It was really cool seeing everybody else's designs. Being a member of the club has helped teach me that gluten-free baking is really fun and easy. A piece of advice I would give to new bakers would to try to attend the live bake-alongs as much as you can. They're very helpful. If you can't attend, I definitely recommend the videos on the Gluten-Free Baking Club website. They've helped me so much over the year and a half I've been here. My favorite thing I've baked would have to be the very first bake that I've ever done, and it was the sugar cookie Christmas tree. It was really fun to make, and it turned out really cool, and it was really fun to eat.
Welcome to the GF Baking Club for Kids. I'm Miss Paula. Thanks for joining me again. So last time I joined you live, I was talking a lot about the club, what it is, what you get, how it can change your child's life. And today I have some notes and I want to talk to you a little bit more about the benefits, okay? The benefits of the club. And I have some notes so that I don't ramble because, like I said, I don't do very many of these and I don't open the club but once or twice a year. And this weekend, once a year, is when I open the club big to all bakers, and I want to invite your child to join too. So benefit number one, the club will save you money. How many times have we gone to the grocery store, bought something, we're so excited, and then we get home, we taste it, and it's disgusting. There goes $7 or $8 down the drain because that's kind of the going rate. Am I right? So the club, knowing that your recipe will always turn out, actually saves you money because you're not out testing recipes. You're not buying ingredients and then wasting them because the cake was a flop or the cupcakes didn't rise or the bread was raw in the middle. I do all that work for you. So while you might struggle with signing up and committing to the membership, in the long run, it does save you quite a bit of money because you're not doing all that other stuff. You're not having to go buy a $5 cupcake at the bakery that's 20 miles away. I teach you how to make cupcakes on your own. I teach your child and you. I mean, I've had so many moms learn too alongside their child. But I teach you how to make the cupcakes. I teach you how to freeze them. I encourage you to freeze them. I encourage you to keep things handy so that you have last minute treats. So that's benefit number one. Benefit number two, it saves you time. I know for me, I don't get a lot of time. I don't get a lot of free time. As the kids get older, I'm telling you, we all look forward to them going to school full time. And then we think we're going to have all this time, but it doesn't happen because we fill it with something else or life happens. And then it is stolen from us because, something happened. So I save you time because you don't have to spend time on Pinterest looking for recipes. You don't have to spend time doing the research. I'm researching for you. I'm doing the recipe testing. I'm doing all the things to make sure that your child has a successful baking experience each and every time. It's amazing how much time will go by. We don't even realize it because we're like scrolling and looking and printing and doing all the things. And if I can give you that time back, that is amazing. The other thing is, it also gives your child something to do because it's something they can do interactive and you can spend time with them. So this time that you're saving, you're also being able to enjoy maybe some time in the kitchen, chit-chatting about life or helping alongside them. So time is so precious. I'm learning as I'm the mom of a high schooler now. So I know how fast time can go. And I want to help you get as much out of your time as possible. Benefit number three. Benefit number three is the club's full of surprises. So I love making mug cakes. Okay, so that is kind of like my signature bonus. And I have made, let's see, 3 mug cakes so far, I think. A vanilla one, chocolate, and then a cinnamon one. Oh, actually 4. Strawberry shortcake. So oftentimes added to a baking experience will be a little mug cake that they can make to have a little special treat on the side. I love this because not every baking event has to be an event. So if your child wants to bake something, you don't have to get, all the pans out and all the bowls. You can just do this little thing and they can still have something sweet. So I've surprised my bakers with that. I've surprised my bakers with fun things at the holidays. I love, love, love giving them something like a memento, something to remember the Baking Club for Kids, the GF Baking Club for Kids. I always say, I used to bake with my mom and my grandma, and they had these 2 friends. And I remember this time so vividly. And I always think back to my baking days with those women. And I always say that I want them to someday say, Miss Paula taught me that. And if I get a little sentence in their big life, that just means a lot to me. So that will really, really fill my bucket. There's just so much. There's so many little touches that I put into the club that surprise and delight my bakers. I want them to feel this. I want them to get their baker's box, which is right here. I don't think I showed it this time yet. Their baker's box that ships once a month, gets delivered right to your door. You don't have to do a thing. I want them to look at it as a gift. It's an adorable box, and I love seeing it go out into the world and knowing that there's surprises inside. There's always surprise treats, snacks, goodies, and there's always a surprise activity sheet that's fun. And there's always a surprise monthly collectible, okay, that they can collect. So those are some of the things that I've done for my bakers in the past, and I'll continue to do that. I love giving away. I love doing giveaways, and I love doing ketchup challenges, and I love doing baking challenges. So like if we have a long weekend, I'll call it a ketchup challenge and I'll give away a $25 gift card. If we have if I want them to experiment and step out of the box with a baking experience, I'll create a baking challenge. We have gingerbread house baking challenges, which is so fun. Which this year we might have a little spin on that. But I love to create extra fun things that they can do to that aren't necessarily what is promised, but it's what's delivered. It's a surprise. My bakers have baked with bakers from Kids Baking Championship. They've made macarons with them. They have had them as guest judges. My bakers have, let's see, they've made videos for me. They have done a lot. They've been on TV with me. One baker just was on TV with me. So one baker started her own bakery, and that's pretty amazing. Addie Cakes Gluten Free she's just amazing. She's been with me since day one. She started her very own home bakery. And I really would love for you to follow her journey. It is truly amazing. I met her when she was like this, and now she's like this. And I just see how much she's grown. And it just, I don't know, it makes me feel so proud of her. And she took an obstacle and made it something rewarding, fulfilling, something she can enjoy. And I don't think she knows how big of an impact she's going to be making on the world if she continues, because there's not a lot out there that's really, really good. And what she's creating is something that people love, that they're going to love, and that she'll be able to deliver for the rest of her life. Let's see. Okay. Number 4, benefit number 4. I started rambling. Sorry. Okay. Benefit number 4, your child will gain confidence in the kitchen. This is something that I think with every child and parent after diagnosis, I feel like they think, well, that's off the table. We're not going to be able to bake. We're not going to be able to cook. How are we going to figure this out? And the ownership that my bakers have when they really like master the gluten-free baking, it's pretty amazing. They are proud. They go from having help with their parents to doing it all on their own. That journey in itself is amazing. They go from not being quite sure to just knowing that this is what I'm baking and I want it to look a certain way. So I'm going to actually decorate it a certain way. And they take ownership of what they're baking. They make it fun for themselves. That's pretty amazing. So the confidence in the kitchen and giving them back the fact that they can bake, that mindset that they can actually do something that they thought was impossible. They can actually make dinner that tastes good. They can actually make treats that people will say, this doesn't even taste gluten-free, is amazing. And when they tell me that, I mean, I'm still surprised. But the fact that they get to enjoy those compliments at such a young age, I just love it so much. So that's benefit number 4, is giving your child confidence in the kitchen, confidence that they never thought they'd have. One side note, let me see. Oh, actually, it's coming, so I'm going to wait. Okay, benefit number 5, the ability to bake 2 ways. So once a month, we have these bake-alongs, and they're virtual. So your child is baking in the comfort of their own safe kitchen. There's no cross-contamination. There's nothing to worry about except kitchen safety, which I always remind them. And I always tell them to ask a parent, discuss what they can and cannot do, on their own. And if they can't, I encourage, like, the way to get the most out of this club is to come to the bake-alongs. Mark it on your calendar. It's usually always the 3rd Sunday of the month. I do it this way because we can work around that date. So I put it on my calendar like at the beginning of the year, and I try my best to work around it. Have I missed a couple sporting events? Yes. Was it worth it? Yes. Because it's fun to be able to talk with my bakers and say, oh, Miles is at bat, or Miles just hit a home run, or whatever. And they love it too, because we have community. So they'll share stuff that is happening in their life. I'll share what's happening in mine. Some kids are on their way to a gymnastics meet. Some kids are going diving. Some kids we're all like parts in motion. But on this Sunday, once a month, we stop and we talk and we catch up, and the joy that it gives me when I haven't seen a baker in a while, and then because they've been busy and then they come back, it's like a huge celebration. I love to know what's been happening with them. And so I really encourage you to come to the bake-alongs. So if you want the most out of this baking club, come to the bake-alongs. Make it a priority. Make it like going to soccer practice. Make it like going to baseball practice. Make it like going to all those other things that you guys belong to. It's that important. Baking with me will help them learn faster. But maybe your child's shy. Maybe you just can't make the time. I know there's church and there's other things, there's sports and there's other commitments. Sunday's tough, but when I surveyed the crowd, the 11 and the 3 o'clock times were the most, let's see, they have the most attendance. And, but if you can't make it, you get access to what I call the Digital Club Cookbook. And it's a place, let's see, I will show you on this paper here, but it's like, this is the screen, and you have like these little squares that represent a class, and you just click on the class, you click on the square, and it will bring up the class. You have the digital recipe instructions. You also get the booklet in your box. Let's see if I can find mine, but you'll have it digital in the cookbook, and then you'll have a step-by-step video. The video often teaches so much more because there's an intro, and I like to talk about the baking experience, what to expect. I always encourage my bakers, even if they're coming to the bake-along, to watch that intro portion. So there's little tidbits that I like to teach. I like to talk to them. I like to tell them what's going on. We talk about what was in their baker's box. We talk about what to expect. We talk about, if you have trouble with this, do this. So both options will teach your kids so much. The step-by-step video is overhead. So I teach them from an overhead view so they can see what I'm doing in real time. They can pause the screen anytime, add the ingredient, then press play again. I remind them to do that. I try to make them short for attention span, but long enough so that they get what they need. Okay. So that's benefit number 5. Benefit number 6 is that we use my premium gluten-free flour blend. This is what comes in your baker's box. It's 375 grams, which is equal to 3 cups. We use grams because we use a baking scale from day one. I've learned that the more precise you can be with your measurements, the more successful you'll be with your gluten-free baking. And since our gluten-free flours are blends, they are not just made up of one ingredient, wheat, they all weigh differently. So if you add a cup, you're not adding the same volume. You're adding the same, like just a cup, but they weigh differently. And that's going to matter in your recipe. So we use a baking scale from day one. That means a baking scale is required. We also, let's see, the other thing about that is that I give you the recipe. In my cookbook, the recipe to my flour, it's in there. You can mix it. I never knew that when I wrote my cookbook, I had no idea that I was going to have my flour in a beautiful bag like this. No idea. When my followers and people in my community started raving about my baking, and like the idea of the baking club was born, I started thinking about it more and more. And I was able to partner with one of my favorite gluten-free brands that they package this in a gluten-free, their dedicated gluten-free facility. It's amazing. They saw my vision for the club, and they are helping me do this. the flour comes all the way from California. So it is definitely a labor of love. And but it's not like one and done. So like, I don't teach your kids to bake with my flour, and then because it's not available in the stores, they can never bake again. They get the recipe in the digital club cookbook, and they can bake forever because they're single grains. They're potato starch. It's made up of potato starch, brown rice flour, arrowroot, sorghum, 4 ingredients. That's it. And then you add the xanthan gum with each recipe, because my thought is that each recipe needs a different amount of xanthan gum. And I wanted to be able to control that, so that that's why I kept it separately. I just want to encourage you to know, like those, I always think of it as like the songs on the radio. Somebody might have like one popular song, and then there's nothing else, and you don't hear from them anymore. I want you to know that being a part of the club will set your child up for success, even into their future. We don't know if their kids are going to be gluten-free. We don't know if their grandkids are going to be gluten-free. But we do know that if we can teach them how to bake delicious gluten-free treats now, it will only benefit them down the road. That sounds great to me. And I hope that sounds great to you too. Okay. So to that point, I don't teach them to bake with something that is not going to be available to them ever again. If your child graduates and they're like, I know everything I need to know, I've learned so much from you, Miss Paula, they have the recipe. They can go back. They have all of their recipes, all of their booklets. They can go back and make any of the recipes that they had access to while they were a member of the club. All right, let's see. So much more. But there's so many more benefits. And one of them is, the Facebook group, the community of moms, the people that you meet. One of my favorite things is like, we're on a live bake along, and then I'm dairy free. So like, one of the other moms is dairy free, and she'll say, hey, look at what we just found at the grocery store. And then I've learned something. And then I'll say, oh, look at what I found. Or, we're comparing and sharing. We have one baker who's gone on the celiac cruise many times, and she always comes back and shares. We have a couple of bakers that go to Europe once a year, and they share the differences of how gluten-free living is different and things that they've found. And it's exciting because we've developed a community amongst these kids that, even if they can't show up to bake, sometimes they just pop on to say hi. That is amazing to me. I love that so much, because that means they love it. That just reminds me that I've created something that has helped them, and I want to keep doing that. So with your help this weekend, join the club, give it a chance, and I promise that you're going to find that your kids are going to love it. They're going to love what they make. And this weekend, we have 2 big things happening. If you join the club between now and Monday night at midnight, you will be receiving a bonus class, which is my ice cream sandwich class. Another huge hit, fan favorite. What child doesn't want to eat an ice cream sandwich? It's the best way to say goodbye to summer. You'll have enough flour in your October box to make it. So this bag that you get in October, because if you join this weekend, your first box will ship in October, first week of October. You'll have enough flour for what we're baking, which are candy bar blondies, and your ice cream sandwich bonus class. In addition, I'm hosting a great big giveaway. I thought it would be fun to give away some things and make it fun. So first prize, so you can enter. Even if you don't join, you can enter to win, okay? The prizes are amazing. There's 3 prizes. First prize is a stand mixer with my cookbook and a bag of my flour. Second prize is stackable baking pans, because I know my pans are like all over the place, but these are stackable and they can fit in your cabinet nice and neat with my cookbook and my flour. And then third prize is double-sided measuring spoons, sorry, with, you guessed it, my cookbook and my flour. So, but you can join even if you don't, you can enter to win even if you don't join the club. But if you join the club, you get 5 entries into the giveaway. So you can 5 times your chance to win. And I think it'd be so fun for your child to win one of the grand prizes. So that's all I have for you today. I appreciate you taking the time to join me. I'll be in the comments answering questions. I know I didn't like say hello and do all the things, but I just wanted to make sure I could deliver the information to you and then also help answer any questions that you might be having this weekend while the promotion is going on. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And I look forward to seeing your child in their very own safe kitchen baking with me very soon. Thanks again.